How early American frontier survived freezing winters, relaxing history for sleep. Hello guys, today we will know about how early American frontier people survived the freezing winters. We will travel slowly to a small frontier settlement in New England, in the early 18th century. This narration is meant to be calm and gentle, to help you rest, and slowly fall asleep. There is no rush here, only quiet streets, cold air, and the soft rhythm of ordinary lives. The settlement lies close to a river, surrounded by dark forests, and low wooden fences. Winter has already settled in, snow rests on rooftops, and ice lines the edges of the water. The sky is pale and heavy, the days are short, and the nights arrive early. A faint wind moves through the town, carrying the smell of smoke and damp wood. The streets are narrow and uneven, packed dirt mixed with stone, hardened by frost. In places, rough cobbles appear, set by hand many years before. The ground is slippery, dark with melting snow, and marked by wagon ruts. Oil lamps glow softly at corners, their light small and yellow, barely pushing back the dark. Houses stand close together, built of timber and rough boards. Their walls are thin, sealed with clay and moss, to keep out the worst of the cold. Roofs are steep, covered with wooden shingles, weighed down by snow. Windows are small, some covered with oiled paper, others with thick glass, clouded by age. Inside the houses, the rooms are low and cramped. Ceilings hang close overhead, holding in warmth from the hearth. The hearth is the heart of each home, stone and brick, blackened by years of smoke. A fire burns slowly, fed with split logs, carefully saved through autumn. The fire never roars, it only glows, steady and patient. Too much flame wastes wood, and wood is precious. Ashes are raked each morning, embers covered at night, to keep heat alive until dawn. The smell of smoke clings to walls, clothes, hair, and blankets. Floors are bare wood, worn smooth by many feet. In some homes, rushes or straw are spread for warmth, replaced when they rot. Simple stools sit near the fire, along with a rough table, scarred by knives and bowls. Beds are pushed against walls, piled with wool blankets, patched and heavy. Meals are simple, and repeated day after day. Bread made from coarse grain, dark and dense, fills wooden bowls. Porridge simmers in iron pots, stirred slowly, thick and warm. On rare days, small pieces of salted meat or dried vegetables are added. Food is never wasted, not a crumb, not a drop. Leftovers are saved, reheated, and shared among many mouths. Children learn early to eat quietly, and finish what they are given. Hunger is familiar, especially in late winter. Clothing is plain, and worn thin by use. Men wear wool coats, stiff and heavy, mended again and again. Shirts are linen, rough against the skin, tucked carefully to keep out drafts. Women wear long skirts, woolen shawls, and simple caps tied beneath the chin. Shoes are thick leather, cracked by cold, and patched with care. Many people stuff rags inside for warmth. Gloves are rare, mittens made of wool are passed between children. Every garment carries the mark of hands that repaired it. Each morning begins quietly, before the sun rises. The fire is stirred, breath fogs the air inside the house. Water is fetched from wells, ice broken with iron tools. Hands ache from cold, faces are red and still. Men step outside to tend animals. Cows and goats huddle in small sheds, their breath rising like smoke. Feed is measured carefully, hay saved from summer. Horses stamp their hooves, waiting for work. Women remain near the hearth, kneading dough, mending clothes. Their work is constant, slow, and unending. Soap is made from ashes, candles from tallow. Every task follows a rhythm learned from childhood. Children wake slowly. Wrapped in blankets, reluctant to leave warmth. Older children help carry wood, sweep floors, and fetch water. Younger ones stay close to the fire, shelling dried corn. Learning happens through watching and repeating. Some children attend small charity schools. The buildings are simple, cold, and quiet. Lessons are short, focused on letters and scripture. Hands grow stiff holding slates, breath clouds the room. Work fills the daylight hours, no matter the weather. Men walk to workshops, their boots crunching snow. Blacksmiths hammer iron, sparks brief and bright. Carpenters plane wood, curls falling to the floor. Shopkeepers open narrow doors, bells ringing softly. Inside, shelves hold cloth, nails, candles, and salt. Trade is slow in winter, coins scarce. Many exchanges happen through barter. Wagons move through the streets, pulled by tired horses. Their wheels creak, leaving deep marks in slush. Drivers wrap scarves tight around faces. Eyes narrowed against wind. Deliveries are small, and carefully planned. Markets gather when weather allows. Stalls are covered with cloth and boards. Vegetables are shriveled, apples stored since autumn. People speak softly, conserving breath. Farming does not stop in winter, it only changes. Fields lie frozen, but tools are repaired, fences mended. Men cut firewood in forests, axes striking steady blows. Logs are dragged back on sleds, slow and heavy. The forest is quiet in winter. Snow muffles sound, branches crack under weight. Men work in pairs, watching for danger. Cold is constant and unforgiving. As afternoon fades, shadows lengthen across the settlement. Smoke rises from every chimney, thin and gray. People hurry home before dark. Doors close, latches drop, lamps are lit. Evenings are quiet and close. Families gather near the fire, sharing warmth. Stories are told softly, voices low. Hands keep busy with spinning, sewing, carving. Light is precious. Candles burn slowly. Shadows move along walls, stretching and shrinking. Children grow drowsy, leaning against parents. The fire crackles, steady and familiar. Outside, the wind moves through narrow streets. Snow drifts against doors, covering footsteps. The lamps flicker, then dim. The town grows still. Night settles deep and cold. Inside houses, embers glow red. People climb into beds fully clothed. Blankets are pulled high, breath slow. Sleep comes in layers. Waking and returning. The fire is checked once more. A log is added, carefully. Then silence again. Winter nights are long and patient. Cold presses against walls. But inside, lives continue, quiet and steady. Held together by routine and care. Days repeat, much like the ones before. Snow falls, melts, and freezes again. Food grows scarcer, clothes grow thinner. Yet the town endures. Spring feels distant, almost imagined. But people hold it in memory. They work, they wait. And they rest, when night allows. The wind softens near dawn. Smoke curls into pale sky. Another day begins, slow and cold. Just like the last, and the next. Breath by breath, fire by fire. The frontier winter passes. Not loudly, not bravely. But quietly, and one day at a time. And now, the streets grow darker again. The lamps glow low. The fire settles into embers. And the town rests, still and calm. The night has passed slowly, and the cold has not lifted. Morning returns without warmth, only pale light through small windows. The settlement wakes again, quietly, without hurry. Winter still holds the land. Inside the houses, people rise carefully from their beds. Blankets are folded, never shaken, to keep in heat. Feet touch cold floors, bodies move stiffly. The fire is stirred, coaxed back to life. Ashes are pushed aside, embers glow faintly. A single log is placed, chosen with care. Too much wood is never used. Every piece must last. Water buckets stand near the door. Ice floats on the surface, thin and brittle. It is broken with a wooden ladle. Hands sting, then grow numb. Breakfast is simple and quiet. Leftover porridge is warmed slowly. Bread is cut into small pieces. No one eats quickly. Children sit close to the hearth. Their hair is uncombed, faces pale with sleep. They listen more than they speak. Learning the rhythm of the day. Outside, the streets are nearly silent. Snow has softened the ground, hiding yesterday's tracks. A single cart passes, wheels groaning. The horse moves carefully, head low. Men walk toward their work. Coats pulled tight, collars raised. Their breath drifts behind them. Each step measured and slow. At the edge of town, the forest waits. Trees stand bare, dark against the snow. Axes strike wood, steady and dull. The sound carries far in the still air. Woodcutters pause often. They rest their hands, feeling blood return. Chips scatter across the white ground. Logs are stacked with care. Back in the settlement, women remain indoors. Spinning wheels turn softly, thread winding tight. Needles move through cloth. Repair never ends. Children are sent on small errands. Carrying notes, fetching kindling. They walk in pairs. Their boots too large, or too small. Some children attend lessons, even in winter. The schoolroom is cold, benches hard. A small fire burns at the front. Not enough for everyone. Voices recite letters, slowly. Hands trace shapes on slates. Mist rises with every breath. Silence returns between words. At midday, work pauses briefly. Meals are taken where people stand. Soup from a single pot, shared without complaint. Warmth matters more than taste. The sky remains heavy. Clouds press low, threatening snow. No one looks up for long. Eyes stay on the ground. In workshops, tools move with purpose. Leather is cut, iron is shaped. Fingers work even when they ache. Stopping costs too much. Shop doors open only for short hours. Cold creeps inside quickly. Customers speak in hushed tones. Trades are made without delay. Coins are rare. Promises are common. Names are remembered. Trust holds the town together. As daylight fades, the cold deepens. Wind finds cracks in walls. People return home early. No one lingers outside. Fires are fed again, carefully. Shadows stretch long across rooms. Cloth is hung to dry, near the hearth. Steam rises slowly. Evening meals repeat the morning. Bread, porridge, a small piece of meat if saved. Hands cradle bowls, savoring warmth. Conversation is soft and brief. Children grow quiet. Their heads nod, bodies lean closer to the fire. They are wrapped in shawls. Lifted gently toward bed. Night closes in once more. Lamps glow weakly, then dim. Doors are barred, curtains drawn. The town settles again. Outside, snow begins to fall. Soft at first, then steady. Covering roofs. Streets, wagons. Erasing the day. Inside, the fire whispers. Breathing slows, thoughts fade. Winter continues, patient and unchanging. And sleep returns, slow and deep. The snow has fallen through the night. It lies thick against doors and fences. Morning light struggles through the clouds. Everything feels slower now. Inside the houses, people wake later than before. Cold presses closer, even near the hearth. The fire has shrunk to embers. Someone bends to breathe it back to life. Wood is added in small pieces. The flame answers slowly, reluctantly. Smoke drifts upward, curling along the low ceiling. The room warms by degrees. Breakfast is quieter today. Bread is harder, porridge thinner. Bowls are scraped clean. No one speaks of it. Outside, the streets are nearly hidden. Snow fills every hollow, softening sharp edges. Cobbles disappear beneath white layers. Only familiar paths remain. Men step out with shovels. They clear narrow ways between houses. Snow is pushed aside, piled high. Work begins before thought. Hands grow stiff. Faces burn from cold. Breath clouds the air. Still, the work continues. Animals are checked first. Sheds are cleared, roofs brushed free. Water troughs are broken open. Feed is counted again. In the forest, the cold feels deeper. Snow reaches the knee, slowing every step. Trees creak softly, heavy with ice. Axes bite harder now. Woodcutters pause often. They lean on their tools, listening to the quiet. The forest holds its breath, then releases it again. Back in town, women shake out damp cloth. It is hung closer to the fire. Steam rises, then fades. The smell of wet wool fills the room. Soap is cut into smaller pieces. Candles are trimmed carefully. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is replaced. Children are kept indoors longer. Their tasks move closer to the hearth. Shelling, mending, watching. Learning patience. Some children still walk to lessons. Their steps slow, their hands red. They carry boards beneath their arms. Slates wrapped in cloth. The schoolroom feels colder than before. The fire burns low. Breath hangs in the air. Voices sound thin. Letters are spoken slowly. Mistakes are corrected gently. No one lingers after lessons. Home waits. By midday, the sky darkens again. Snow begins to fall once more. Soft, steady, unending. The world grows smaller. Markets do not gather today. Stalls remain closed. Food stays where it is stored. People rely on what they have. Work shifts indoors. Tools are sharpened, handles repaired. Leather is softened near the fire. Iron cools slowly. Shopkeepers close early. Doors are barred against wind. Goods are covered. Accounts left unfinished. As afternoon fades, light weakens quickly. Snow reflects what little remains. Shadows blur. Edges soften. Fires are fed again. Logs crack softly. Rooms glow faintly. Warmth gathers low. Evening meals are eaten close together. Families share benches. Hands touch accidentally. Comfort passes without words. Children sleep earlier now. They're breathing deep, steady. They dream beneath heavy blankets. The cold kept outside. Adults remain near the fire, listening to wind move around the house. Checking doors, sealing cracks. Waiting. Night settles thick and quiet. Snow muffles every sound. The settlement disappears into darkness. Only smoke marks where life remains. Inside, embers glow. The fire is banked carefully. Bodies rest. Breath slows. Winter deepens. Days shorten. But still, the town endures. One quiet night, at a time. The cold remains, unbroken. Morning arrives without color, only a pale gray light. Snow has hardened overnight, crusted and sharp. The air feels heavier now. Inside the houses, people move more slowly. Joints ache, fingers resist bending. The hearth gives little comfort at first. It must be persuaded, patiently. A breath, a spark, a thin flame. Smoke rises, then clears. Warmth gathers close to the ground. No one strays far from it. Water must be fetched again. Ice is thicker today. Tools strike the surface, dull and steady. Cracks spread, slow and sure. Breakfast is smaller than before. Porridge thinned with water. Bread divided carefully. Eyes notice, but say nothing. Children sit quietly. They listen to the sounds of the house. The fire, the wind, the creak of wood. These sounds are familiar now. Outside, the settlement seems paused. Snowbanks line the narrow streets. Paths curve between houses, marked by many careful steps. Men gather near sheds and fences. They speak little, conserving breath. Work is chosen wisely. Nothing unnecessary is done. Animals are restless today. The cold has reached their bones. Extra straw is spread. Doors are closed tight. In the forest, snow hides roots and stones. Each step must be tested. Axes rise and fall, slower now. Strength is saved. Wood is dragged back on sleds. The runners hiss softly on snow. Loads are lighter, trips more frequent. Time stretches. Back in the houses, women prepare the day's work. Wool is carded near the fire. Thread is spun with steady hands. The wheel hums quietly. Clothing is checked again. Seams are reinforced. Patches layered upon patches. Warmth matters more than appearance. Children are given small tasks. Sorting, folding, holding. They learn stillness. They learn care. Lessons at the school are fewer now. Snow makes the walk uncertain. Some children stay home. Learning continues there. A slate, a piece of chalk. Letters traced slowly. Mistakes erased with a sleeve. Patience grows. Midday passes without notice. The sky does not change. Snow drifts again. Soft, persistent. Meals are taken early. The fire is strongest then. Bowls are warmed before use. Every detail matters. Shops remain closed today. Trade waits for better weather. Supplies rest on shelves. Counted, and guarded. Work turns inward. Tools are cleaned, sharpened. Broken items are studied. Repaired if possible. As afternoon fades, light thins quickly. Snow reflects the last of it. The world seems quiet. Almost empty. People return fully indoors. Doors are sealed with cloth. Cracks are filled with rags. The wind is kept outside. Fires are built slightly higher tonight. Not larger, just steadier. Logs are placed with care. Ashes banked close. Evening meals bring little variety. But warmth comforts. Hands cup bowls. Breath slows. Children are laid down early. 2 or 3 to a bed. Blankets layered. Bodies close. Adults remain awake a little longer. Listening, waiting. The house settles around them. Wood contracting in the cold. Outside, the wind moves gently now. Snow shifts against walls. No voices carry. No footsteps sound. Night deepens. Embers glow softly. The fire breathes low. And sleep returns, quietly. The night has been long, and still. Cold presses through every wall, without sound. Morning comes slowly, almost reluctantly. Light barely touches the edges of the room. People wake without urgency. There is nowhere warm to go, except where they already are. The fire has slept beneath ash. Someone kneels, brushing gently. Searching for life. A faint glow answers. Breath is held, then released. A thin flame rises, fragile. It is guarded closely. Hands hover near the hearth. Feeling for warmth, little by little. The room changes slowly. Cold loosens its grip. Water is poured carefully today. Ice is thicker, harder to break. The sound echoes sharply. Then fades into quiet again. Breakfast feels lighter still. Porridge stretches thin. Bread is shared evenly. No piece is larger than another. Children eat silently. Their movements are small, controlled. Energy is saved. Warmth is protected. Outside, the settlement feels buried. Snow reaches halfway up doors. Fences are softened, nearly hidden. Only rooftops break the white. Men begin clearing again. Shovels scrape frozen ground. Snow is lifted, carried, piled. The work is endless. Wind stings exposed skin. Faces are wrapped, eyes narrow. Words are few. Gestures replace speech. Animals remain close together. Their warmth shared in small spaces. Feed is given slowly, measured. Nothing more than needed. In the forest, sound feels distant. Snow muffles every step. Trees stand motionless. Watching. Axes move carefully now. Strength is no longer wasted. Each swing is chosen. Each log earned. Wood is stacked close to homes. Covered with boards and cloth. Protected from snow. Guarded like food. Inside, women work near the fire. Their shadows long against the walls. Hands move steadily. Without pause. Habit guides them. Wool is spun finer today. Thread drawn thin. It will stretch further. It must. Clothing is layered again. Old garments become linings. Nothing is thrown away. Nothing forgotten. Children stay indoors entirely. Their lessons take quieter forms. Listening, watching, repeating. Learning endurance. A parent traces letters in ash. A child copies with a finger. No paper is wasted. No sound is raised. Midday passes unnoticed. The sky remains unchanged. Snow does not stop. Time feels blurred. Meals come earlier. Fire gives its best heat then. Bowls are warmed again. Food cools quickly. Shops stay closed. Trade has paused completely. Needs are met only from stores. Carefully counted. Afternoon light fades too soon. The room darkens without warning. Lamps are lit sparingly. Flames kept low. Families gather close. Not for talk, but warmth. Bodies share heat. Silence comforts. Children are settled down quietly. Sleep takes them fast now. The cold pulls them inward. Dreams come easily. Adults remain awake. Listening to the fire breathe. Checking doors, feeling walls. Standing watch. Outside, snow continues its slow work. Covering paths, softening edges. The settlement disappears further. Hidden from the world. Inside, the fire settles. Embers glow faintly. Breathing deepens. The house rests. Winter moves on. Unhurried, persistent. And the night holds steady. Long and calm. The cold has settled deeper now. Not sharper, just heavier. Morning comes quietly, as it has before. With no promise of change. Inside the houses, breath hangs in the air. People rise slowly, careful not to stir drafts. The fire waits, patient beneath ash. It is woken gently, as always. A coal glows, then another. Thin flames stretch upward. Warmth returns inch by inch. Never all at once. Water stands thick with ice. It cracks under steady pressure. The sound rings briefly. Then disappears into the stillness. Breakfast feels routine now. Not expected to satisfy, only to sustain. Porridge warms hands more than it fills bellies. Bread is eaten in silence. Children sit wrapped in shawls. Their eyes follow the fire. They move only when needed. Saving strength. Outside, the settlement feels smaller each day. Snowbanks narrow the paths. Doors open only as wide as necessary. Cold is kept at bay. Men step out to work again. Their movements are slower, deliberate. Shovels scrape, sleds slide. Effort is measured. The sound of iron on wood carries faintly. Then fades quickly. Snow absorbs everything. Leaving only quiet. Animals shift in their shelters. Steam rises from their bodies. They are checked often now. Warmth is shared where possible. In the forest, the world feels distant. Snow clings to every branch. The ground gives little grip. Work takes twice the time. Axes strike less often. Men rest between swings. Listening to their breath. Watching the light. Logs are cut shorter now. Easier to move, easier to stack. Nothing extra is taken. Nothing wasted. Back inside, the air smells of wool and smoke. Cloth dries slowly near the hearth. Hands turn spindles, steady and calm. The wheel hums softly. Mending continues without end. Edges are reinforced, seams strengthened. Clothing grows heavier. Layer upon layer. Children are kept close. Their lessons simple. Counting, listening, copying motions. Learning without words. A parent shows how to fold cloth tightly. How to seal a crack with rags. Small skills, learned early. Important ones. Midday light barely reaches the floor. Clouds press low. Snow falls again, light and steady. Almost unnoticed. Meals come and go quietly. Fire gives what warmth it can. Bowls are emptied carefully. Nothing left behind. No shops open today. No carts move through the streets. The town rests, not by choice, but by necessity. As afternoon fades, lamps are lit sooner. Their glow small, contained. Shadows gather along the walls. Familiar shapes. Families sit together without speaking. Listening to the fire settle. To the wind move past the house. To the quiet. Children sleep early again. Wrapped tightly, layered deep. Their breathing slow and even. Safe within warmth. Adults remain awake a while longer. Watching embers, judging heat. Deciding when to add wood. And when to wait. Outside, snow softens every sound. The settlement feels far away. Almost hidden from the world. Held in stillness. Inside, the fire lowers itself. Ash settles. Breath deepens. And night continues, slow and calm. The night loosens its hold only slightly. Morning returns without warmth, only a dull light. Snow has stopped for now, resting where it fell. The cold remains, quiet and steady. Inside the houses, people wake with care. Movements are practiced, almost automatic. The fire waits beneath its blanket of ash. It is stirred, slowly, respectfully. A faint red glow appears. Air is drawn in, gently. Flame answers, small but faithful. Warmth begins again. Water stands unmoving in its bucket. Ice has grown thick, smooth and clear. It is broken with steady hands. Each strike chosen carefully. Breakfast brings no surprise. The same bowls, the same food. Porridge warms the fingers. Bread is shared without thought. Children sit close together. Their shoulders touch. Heat passes quietly between them. They have learned this closeness. Outside, the settlement breathes again. Doors open briefly, then close. Paths are checked, snow pressed down. Life moves carefully forward. Men step out to tend what must be tended. Animals first, always. Shelters are checked, straw shifted. Hands linger to feel warmth. A few men walk toward the forest. Not far today. Snow is deep, light is weak. Work is kept close to home. Branches snap softly. Axes strike frozen wood. The sound is dull, absorbed by snow. The forest listens, and stays still. Logs are gathered in small bundles, carried back slowly. Breath comes heavy. No one rushes. Inside the houses, women prepare for another long day. The fire is fed just enough. Wool is turned, cloth folded. Everything kept close. Mending continues, endlessly. Sleeves reinforced, hems lowered. Children's clothes lengthened again. Each stitch deliberate. Children are given quiet tasks. Holding, sorting, watching. They learn to be still. They learn to wait. Lessons happen near the hearth. Numbers counted on fingers. Letters traced in the air. Knowledge passed softly. Midday light appears briefly. A pale glow through clouded glass. It fades almost as soon as it arrives, leaving the room unchanged. Meals are taken without ceremony. Fire at its strongest then. Bowls are warmed first. Food eaten slowly. No one speaks of spring. It feels too distant. Thoughts remain on the day. On the hour. Afternoon grows darker again. Lamps are lit early. Flames kept low. Oil saved. Families gather closer as night approaches. Not for stories. Just warmth. Just presence. Children are settled beneath heavy coverings. 2 breaths, then 3. Sleep comes easily now. Bodies tired from cold. Adults remain near the hearth, listening to wood settle. Feeling drafts along the floor. Adjusting cloth. Outside, the wind moves softly. Snow shifts against walls. The settlement rests beneath its weight. Quiet and enclosed. Inside, embers glow. Ash settles. Breathing deepens. Another night holds steady. Winter continues. Not with force, but with patience. And the town endures, still and calm.